All right, let's dive right in. If you're a project manager, you've probably felt that whiplash, right? Going from these super rigid processes of PMBOK 6 to the, let's be honest, kind of abstract principles of PMBOK 7, well, you're in the right place. Today, we're unlocking the new 8th edition to see how it finally pulls everything together into one single, integrated blueprint for getting projects done right.
So, to really get why the 8th edition is such a big deal, we have to back up a little and understand the challenge it's trying to solve. For the last few years, project managers have been caught in this real conflict in guidance. It's been like a professional tug of war. And this slide, it just lays it all out perfectly. On one side of the rope, you have the 6th edition. It was incredibly detailed, super process-oriented. And that was helpful, but it could also feel really, really inflexible. Then the 7th edition swung the pendulum way over to the other side. High-level abstract principles. Yeah, they were adaptable, but for a lot of us, they just felt too vague. There wasn't enough concrete, how do I do this guidance. So practitioners were basically stuck in the middle.
And this is where the 8th edition steps in with a really smart solution. It's built on a whole new philosophy that says, hey, you don't have to choose between process and principle. Instead, it integrates them. This is where those big picture principles finally meet real-world performance. So what even is a principle in this new world? It's so important to get this. It's not a rule you have to follow word for word. The standard calls it a fundamental norm, truth, or value. Think of it less like a step-by-step instruction manual and more like your professional compass. It's that core belief system that guides your gut, your decisions, and your actions on a project.
Okay, now check this out, because this is how it all fits together. You've got two documents that now make up one complete system. You've got the standard for project management, that's your why. It's got the principles, the mindset, the whole foundation. And then you have the PMBOK guide itself, and that's your how. That's where you find the nuts and bolts, the mechanics, those performance domains for actually getting the work done.
And this quote just nails it. It's not like these are two separate ideas just living next to each other. The principles are the absolute bedrock that the performance domains are built on. Your why directly shapes your how, and that right there is the heart of this whole integrated approach. Okay, so we've got the philosophy down. Let's peel back the cover and see how this all translates into the actual practical structure of the new guide. What does it really look like when you open it up? Get ready for this. The new structure is, well, it's refreshingly simple. After years of things getting more and more complex, the entire guide is now built around just 4 core sections. That's it. This streamlined approach is a huge change, and it makes the whole thing so much more accessible right from the get-go. So here are the big 4. First, and this is the main event, the project management performance domains. This is basically the new engine of the guide. Next up is tailoring, which gets a major upgrade. And finally, you've got helpful examples under inputs and outputs and tools and techniques, but with a huge catch, and trust me, it's a good one. Let's zoom in on those performance domains, because this is the biggest shift. Think of them as 7 critical focus areas, things like stakeholders, planning, and delivery. But the key word here is integrated. Unlike the old knowledge areas that felt like separate silos, these domains are designed to overlap and work together like a complete system, all focused on one thing, delivering outcomes. And here is that critical clarification I mentioned, and this changes everything. Unlike in the old days, those sections on inputs, outputs, tools, and techniques, they are not rigid required checklists you have to follow. They're just samples of common practices. The guide is basically handing you a well-stocked toolbox, not a strict set of IKEA instructions. So when you put all of these pieces together, you start to see that this isn't just some minor upgrade. No way. The 8th edition is a massive upgrade that directly solves that tug of war we talked about right at the beginning. I love this slide because it shows the whole journey so clearly. We went from that process-heavy 6th edition, then swung over to the principles-focused 7th edition, and now we've landed with the 8th edition. A truly integrated system that takes the best of both worlds and blends them into one powerful, practical framework. So what's in it for you? What are the real game changers? Well, first, that integrated approach gives you both the why and the how. Second, there's this relentless focus on outcomes. The goal has shifted from just checking off tasks to delivering actual business value. And finally, the guidance on tailoring is so much better, with practical, specific advice for each and every performance domain. And that brings us to what might be the most empowering part of this entire new guide. It's all about giving you the tools and the permission to tailor the framework for your unique projects. So, what is tailoring? The guide defines it as the deliberate adaptation of your approach. This isn't about just winging it or ignoring the guide. No, it's about being a smart, thoughtful practitioner who makes conscious choices to make the framework fit the project's specific world and its ultimate goal. And that, right there, is the whole point. The PMBOK Guide 8th edition is not about forcing you to follow a bunch of rules. It's about creating a flexible framework that empowers you, the project manager, to make smart decisions and deliver outcomes that are genuinely valuable. So I'll leave you with this question to chew on. Now that you have this new integrated system in your hands, one that blends guiding principles with practical mechanics, which of those 7 performance domains are you going to start tailoring first to make your next project even better?